Good evening. Tonight, there is nowhere you need to be. There is no road waiting for you to hurry along. No message that needs an answer. No task that must be finished. Instead, imagine yourself standing beside one of the oldest rivers in the world. The Nile. It is early morning. The sun has not yet risen. The eastern sky is beginning to brighten, but the river remains wrapped in soft blue darkness. The water moves quietly beside you. Slowly, steadily, as it has done for thousands upon thousands of years. You can hear the gentle sound of water touching the muddy riverbank. A soft ripple. Then another. Somewhere nearby, a bird calls from among the reeds. Another answers from farther down the river. The world is waking. But it is waking slowly. There is no need to rush. You breathe in the cool morning air. It smells of damp earth, river water, reeds, and distant wood smoke. Behind you stands a small riverside village. Its houses are made from mud brick. Their walls are warm brown beneath the fading darkness. Flat roofs rise above them. A few simple ladders lean against the walls. Clay jars rest beside doorways. Everything is quiet. Most people are still asleep. Only the fishermen have begun their morning. You can see one of them standing beside a small wooden boat. He is an old man. His shoulders are slightly bent from many years of work. He moves calmly. There is nothing hurried about him. He checks the rope. Then the wooden oar. Then the small woven basket he will use to carry his catch. He looks toward the eastern horizon. The sky is becoming lighter. A thin golden line appears above the distant desert. The fisherman smiles. The sun will soon arrive. He pushes his boat gently into the water. The little vessel moves away from the shore. The oar enters the river. Dip. Pull. Dip. Pull. The rhythm is almost like breathing. You watch until the boat becomes a small dark shape upon the silver water. Then you turn toward the village. A woman steps outside one of the houses. She carries the clay jars. She walks toward the river. Her footsteps are quiet against the packed earth. She kneels beside the water. The jars are filled carefully. The Nile is not simply a river here. It is life itself. It provides water for drinking. Water for crops. Fish for food. Mud for bricks. Reeds for baskets. Papyrus for writing. A road for boats. Almost everything depends upon it. You look across the water. On the opposite bank, the land is green. Date palms rise above fields of barley and wheat. Small gardens sit beside irrigation channels. Beyond the green land is something very different. The desert. Golden. Silent. Endless. The contrast is astonishing. A narrow ribbon of green life follows the river. Beyond it stretches the dry desert. Water and sand, life and silence. Together. The sun finally rises. A warm golden light spills across the horizon. The river changes color. Blue becomes silver. Silver becomes gold. The tops of the palm trees glow. Birds rise from the reeds. A flock of white birds crosses the river. Their wings catch the morning light. For a moment, everything seems golden. You stand quietly beside the Nile. Imagine that you are beginning a journey, not a journey of speed. A journey of observation. You will follow the river slowly. You will travel from village to village, from fields to temples, from markets to ancient cities. You will see how ordinary people lived beside this great river. Farmers, fishermen, boatbuilders, scribes, potters, weavers, merchants, children, priests, travelers, people whose names have disappeared from history, yet whose lives once filled these same streets. The journey begins with a boat. A long wooden riverboat waits at a small dock. Its hull is simple. The wood has been repaired many times. A tall mast rises from the center. A large square sail is folded carefully beside it. The captain stands near the bow. His name is Hori. He is a middle-aged river traveler with a calm voice and sun-darkened skin. He welcomes you aboard. There is no ceremony. No grand announcement, just a smile. The river is peaceful today, he says. You step onto the boat. The wooden deck feels warm beneath your feet. Your belongings are placed beneath a small woven shelter near the center. There is a sleeping mat, a folded blanket, a clay water jar, a small wooden box for your things. Simple, comfortable. Enough. Hori checks the ropes. The crew pushes the boat away from the dock. The Nile carries you forward. At first, the village remains beside you. You see people beginning their morning work. Farmers walk toward the fields. Children carry baskets. A man repairs a fishing net. Women sweep the entrances of their homes. A baker removes flat loaves from a clay oven. Smoke rises into the morning air. The smells reach the river. Warm bread, wood smoke, fresh earth. You breathe deeply. The boat moves farther away. The village becomes smaller. The green banks open before you. Fields stretch beside the river. Farmers work along narrow irrigation channels. Some guide wooden plows pulled by oxen. Others kneel in the soil. The crops are still young. Green shoots rise from dark earth. The Nile makes this possible. Each year, when the river rises, it leaves behind rich, dark soil. Farmers plant their crops afterward. They understand the rhythm of the river. Flood. Planting, growth, harvest. Then the cycle begins again. The boat moves slowly. There is no reason to hurry. The river itself sets the pace. You lie back beneath the woven shade. Above you, the sail catches the morning breeze. The boat turns gently. The water makes a soft sound against the hull. She. You close your eyes for a moment. The sun is warm. The breeze is cool. The river carries you. For a while, you simply listen. The soft creaking of wood, the fluttering sail, the distant calls of birds, the quiet voices of the crew. And beneath everything, the river. Around midday, Hori guides the boat toward a small settlement. Several boats are already resting beside the riverbank. Some carry sacks of grain. Others hold clay jars. One is loaded with bundles of papyrus. Another carries baskets of dates. The Nile is a highway, but unlike a road, it moves. You step onto the shore. The village is small. There are perhaps a few dozen houses. Most are made from mud brick. A few have painted doorways. Children play near a shaded wall. A dog sleeps beside a doorway. Goats wander between houses. The village market is beginning to open. A woman arranges onions in a basket. A farmer brings dates. A potter places bowls upon a wooden table. A fisherman sells fresh fish caught that morning. You walk slowly through the market. Nobody seems particularly surprised by travelers. Boats arrive often. People along the Nile are accustomed to visitors. You stop beside the potter. He is shaping a clay bowl. His hands move with practiced confidence. Press. Turn. Smooth. Turn. The clay becomes a vessel. You watch quietly. He smiles. He does not need to explain. The work explains itself. Nearby, a young boy carries a basket of figs. He offers one to you. The fruit is soft and sweet. You thank him. He smiles shyly and runs back toward his family. The afternoon becomes warm. You return to the river. The boat is waiting. The crew has prepared a simple meal. Bread. Figs. Dates. Onions, fresh fish, water. You eat beneath the shade of the sail. The river moves beside you. Across the water, a line of palm trees sways gently. Their leaves make a soft rustling sound. After lunch, the boat continues south. The wind becomes lighter. The sail is lowered. The crew uses long poles to guide the boat through a shallow stretch of water. The movement is slow, peaceful. You watch the banks pass. A group of fishermen stands knee-deep in the river. They cast woven nets. A flock of birds gathers nearby. Further ahead, you see a small temple. It stands upon a low rise near the river. Its walls are pale beneath the sun. 2 stone columns mark the entrance. The temple is quiet. There are no crowds. Only a priest walking slowly across the courtyard. Hori explains that many small temples stand along the Nile. Some belong to famous gods, others serve only local communities. The river connects them all. As evening approaches, the air begins to cool. The sun moves lower. The desert beyond the green fields turns orange. Long shadows stretch across the riverbank. The palms become dark silhouettes. The boat slows near a peaceful bend in the river. Hori chooses a quiet place for the night. The boat is tied securely to a wooden post. The crew prepares a small meal. You sit near the edge of the deck. The Nile reflects the sunset. Gold. Orange. Rose. Then purple. The first stars appear above the desert. One. Then another. Then hundreds. The sky is enormous. There are no city lights. Nothing interrupts the darkness. You can see the stars reflected in the river. For a moment, it seems as though you are floating between 2 skies, one above, one below. Hori sits nearby. He watches the stars. People have traveled this river for longer than anyone remembers. He says farmers, merchants, soldiers, pilgrims, families, everyone follows the river. You look across the dark water. The Nile continues moving. It does not care how many generations have watched it. It simply flows quietly, patiently, endlessly. You lie down beneath the woven shelter. The blanket is soft. The wooden boat rocks gently. Back and forth, back and forth. The river carries you. The wind touches the sail. The reeds whisper along the bank. A night bird calls in the distance. You close your eyes. Tomorrow, the boat will continue south. You will pass more villages. More farms. More ancient temples. Perhaps you will meet a scribe carrying a message. Perhaps a fisherman will tell you a story. Perhaps you will see great stone monuments rising from the desert. But none of that needs to happen tonight. Tonight, the Nile is enough. The boat moves gently beneath you. The river carries you through the darkness. The ancient desert sleeps beneath the stars. And somewhere far beyond the horizon, Another quiet morning is waiting. For now, breathe slowly, listen to the water. Let the gentle rhythm of the Nile carry you into sleep. The journey has only just begun. Morning arrives upon the Nile without hurry. The first thing you notice is the sound of water. Soft water, quiet water. Water brushing against the wooden sides of the boat. She thought that the boat rocks gently beneath you. The night has passed. Above the river, the sky is beginning to brighten. A thin line of pale gold appears beyond the eastern desert. The stars slowly disappear. One by one, the darkness becomes blue. Then silver. Then warm with sunlight, you open your eyes. For a moment, you do not remember where you are. Then you hear the river again. You remember. You are traveling along the ancient Nile. The woven shelter above you moves gently in the morning breeze. The wooden deck is cool beneath your hand. Nearby, Hori is already awake. He stands near the bow. His eyes are fixed upon the river. The boat is still tied to the bank. The crew is preparing breakfast. A small clay pot rests over a low charcoal fire. The smell of warm bread fills the air. You sit up slowly. There is no alarm. No schedule. Only the river. Hori notices you. Good morning. His voice is quiet. Did you sleep well? You nod. The gentle movement of the boat had made the night peaceful. One of the crew members brings you a simple breakfast. Flatbread. Dates. Figs. A little honey. And cool water. You eat while watching the sunrise. Across the river, the desert catches the first light. The sand turns golden, the rocky hills become orange. And along the riverbank, the green fields awaken. The contrast is beautiful, desert and river. Dry land and fertile soil. Silence and life, everything exists beside everything else. When breakfast is finished, the crew unties the boat. The sail rises. A gentle northern wind fills it. The boat begins moving south. Slowly, quietly, the Nile carries you forward. The riverbank passes at an easy pace. Palm trees stand in small groups. Their tall trunks rise from the earth. Their leaves spread wide like green fans. Among them are small houses, mud brick walls, flat roofs, wooden doors. Some walls are painted with simple patterns. Blue lines. Red shapes. White symbols. Children stand outside their homes. They wave as the boat passes. You wave back. Soon the village becomes larger. Hori points toward it. That is where we will stop today. The village lies beneath a great grove of date palms. Hundreds of trees rise along the riverbank. Their leaves shimmer in the sunlight. The village seems almost hidden beneath them. You can barely see the houses at first. Only the palms. Then the narrow paths between them. Then small courtyards. Then smoke rising from cooking fires. The boat approaches a simple wooden dock. Several fishing boats are tied nearby. A group of men is repairing nets. Women carry baskets toward the market. Children run along the riverbank. The village is awake. But it is not noisy. The sounds are gentle laughter, conversation, bird song, water, the rustling of palm leaves. You step onto the dock. The wooden boards are warm beneath your feet. A narrow path leads into the village. Palm trees stand on both sides. Their shadows create cool patterns across the ground. The first thing you notice is the smell. Fresh dates. Bread. Smoke. River water. Dry earth. A little farther ahead, A baker is preparing bread in a clay oven. He places round pieces of dough against the warm inside wall, then waits. The bread slowly rises. A warm golden color appears across its surface. The baker removes it carefully. Steam escapes. You smile. He offers you a small piece. It is warm and soft. You thank him. He laughs. Fresh is always better. You continue walking. The village is built around a central courtyard. At its center stands an old date palm. It is enormous. Its trunk is thick and rough. Its leaves spread far above the houses. A small stone basin sits beneath it. Water flows into the basin from a narrow irrigation channel. Several villagers fill clay jars. The village depends upon the same water that carries your boat. The Nile enters the fields through channels. The channels carry water toward gardens. The gardens provide vegetables. The palm trees provide dates. The river provides fish. The earth provides grain. Everything is connected. You follow one of the irrigation channels. It runs between two small fields. On one side, barley grows. On the other, onions and herbs. A farmer works quietly nearby. His name is Kepri. He is an older man with strong hands. He notices you watching. You are traveling by boat. You nod. Then you have chosen the easy road. He smiles. The river does most of the walking for you. He returns to his work. You ask about the fields. He explains that the village depends upon careful irrigation. When the water is guided properly, the crops grow well. When the river is low, everyone must use water carefully. Nothing is wasted. Even a small stream can become important. He shows you a wooden water-lifting device beside the field. A long wooden arm moves up and down. A clay container at one end collects water. The farmer pulls the handle. The container rises, then tips. Water flows into the irrigation channel. Again, and again. The movement is slow. Patient. Repetitive. Almost meditative. You watch for several minutes. Lift. Pour. Lift. Pour. The Nile is generous, but people must work with it. You continue toward the village market. The market is small. There are perhaps 20 stalls. A fisherman displays baskets of river fish. A woman sells onions. Another sells woven mats. A potter has arranged clay bowls and cups. A young boy sells dates beneath a palm leaf shelter. The dates are dark brown and glossy. You buy a small handful. They are sweet and soft. Nearby, an old woman sells woven baskets. She sits beneath a palm tree. Her hands move quickly through long strips of dried reeds. You watch as she weaves. Over. Under. Under. The pattern grows. She smiles. You can try. She gives you a strip of reed. You carefully follow her movements. Over. Under. Your first attempt is not very neat. The woman laughs kindly. That is how everyone begins. You smile. She continues weaving. Her hands seem to know the pattern without thought. The basket slowly takes shape. It is another kind of journey. Not across deserts. Not along rivers. But through skill passed from one generation to another. You thank her and continue. Near the edge of the village stands a small shaded courtyard. Several children are sitting there. One is drawing pictures in the dust. A boat. A palm tree. A bird. Another child draws the river. The drawings are simple, but they show the world around them. A life shaped by water. The Nile appears everywhere. In the fields, dot in the boats, dot in the food, dot in the stories. In the drawings of children, you walk back toward the river. The afternoon sun is warm. The palms provide shade. Their leaves move softly overhead to hush, hush. A gentle breeze passes through the village. For a moment, you understand why people choose to build their homes beneath these trees. The palms offer shade, their fruit offers food. Their leaves can become mats, their wood can become tools. Their fibers can be woven into ropes. Almost every part can be useful. A single tree can support a family. You find a quiet place beside the river. The water is bright beneath the afternoon sun. Several small boats pass. One carries baskets of vegetables, another carries clay jars. A third carries a family traveling to the next village. The river is always moving, always carrying people somewhere. A young fisherman sits beside you. His name is Sami. He is repairing a net. You ask whether he has always lived beside the Nile. He smiles. Always. He tells you that he learned to fish from his father. His father learned from his grandfather, the same river. The same nets, different generations. He shows you how the net is repaired. A broken section is carefully tied, one knot, then another. Soon the hole disappears. You cannot rush a net, he says. If you pull too hard, it breaks. You think about the journey. Perhaps the same is true of life. Some things must be handled gently. The afternoon passes. The sun begins to move lower. Golden light appears between the palms. The village changes color. The mud brick walls become orange. The river becomes silver. The palm leaves become dark against the sky. Children return home. Market stalls close. Fishing boats come back to shore. The village becomes quieter. A woman lights a small lamp outside her doorway. Another carries bread into her home. Smoke rises gently from cooking fires. Dinner is being prepared. You return to the boat. Hori has already arranged a simple evening meal. Fresh bread, fish, dates, onions, herbs, a little honey. You eat beneath the palm trees. The breeze is cool now. The river reflects the sunset. Across the water, the desert glows orange, then red, then purple. The first star appears. You sit quietly after dinner. The villagers continue their evening routines. Someone plays a simple flute. The melody is soft. A child laughs. A dog barks once. Then silence returns. The river continues to she. You look toward the enormous date palms. Their leaves move gently against the evening sky. They have stood here through countless seasons. Floods, droughts, harvests, weddings, births, goodbyes. Departures. Arrivals. They have watched boats pass for generations. Perhaps tomorrow another traveler will sit beneath their shade. Perhaps another will listen to the same river. The thought is strangely comforting. The world changes, but some things remain. The river, the palms, the morning sun, the evening stars. The quiet rhythm of ordinary life. Later, you return to your sleeping place beneath the woven shelter. The boat is still tied to the shore. Cloudless sky stretches above you. The river rocks the boat gently. Back and forth, back and forth. You hear the palm leaves moving in the breeze. You hear the distant village settling into sleep. A night bird calls, then silence. Your eyes grow heavy. Tomorrow, the boat will continue south. The village beneath the date palms will disappear behind you. The river will carry you toward larger settlements, toward ancient temples, toward fields filled with workers, toward cities where scribes record names and merchants count their goods. But tonight, there is no need to think about tomorrow. The Nile is carrying you, the palms are whispering, the stars are shining. And the ancient river continues its endless journey beneath the quiet Egyptian sky. Breathe slowly, listen to the water. Let the gentle rhythm carry you. The journey continues, but for now, rest. Morning returns to the Nile. It arrives quietly, almost unnoticed. The darkness above the river becomes a soft shade of blue. The stars fade from the sky. A pale glow appears beyond the eastern desert. The river remains calm. Its surface reflects the first light of dawn. You wake beneath the woven shelter of the boat. For a moment, you lie still. The wooden deck beneath you moves gently with the current. Back and forth, back and forth. The sound is almost like breathing. You hear the palm leaves rustling along the shore. You hear a bird calling somewhere in the village. Then comes the familiar sound of a paddle entering the water. Dip, pull, dip. Pull. Hori is already preparing the boat. The crew speaks quietly. There is no need for loud voices. Morning is a peaceful time along the Nile. You sit up and look toward the shore. The village beneath the date palms is beginning another day. Smoke rises from the first cooking fires. A farmer walks toward the fields carrying a wooden hoe. The children follow behind him. A woman fills clay jars at the river. A fisherman pushes his boat into the water. Life begins again, not dramatically, simply. The same things that happened yesterday happen again today. And tomorrow they will happen again. That is one of the quiet rhythms of the Nile. You step onto the deck. A small breakfast waits for you. Bread. Dates. Figs. A little honey. Cool water. You eat while watching the sunrise. The sun slowly appears, first as a bright line, then as a glowing circle, then as a warm golden light spreading across the valley. The desert changes color. The distant hills become gold. The river shines. The green fields seem even greener. The contrast between the river valley and the desert is extraordinary. Beyond the fields, there is almost nothing, only sand. Rock. Sky. But here beside the river, life is everywhere. Palm trees. Crops. Birds. People. Animals. Water. The Nile gives the valley its shape. It is like a long green ribbon crossing a world of gold. Hori unties the boat. The sail rises. The morning wind catches it. The boat begins moving south. Clink. 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 Cloud's bells sound from the shore as the animal walks beside the boat for a short distance before the caravan road separates from the river. The village slowly disappears. The palm trees become smaller. The houses become tiny shapes. Soon only the green fields remain. The boat moves quietly along the river. You notice that the farmland here is wider than before. Large fields stretch away from the water. Barley grows in long rows. Wheat bends gently in the breeze. Lentils grow low to the ground. Vegetable gardens are divided by narrow irrigation channels. Farmers work everywhere. Some guide oxen through the fields. Others carry baskets. Some kneel in the soil. Others stand beside the irrigation channels, checking the flow of water. You ask Hori about the work. He explains that farming follows the rhythm of the river. When the Nile rises, water spreads across the lowlands. When the water retreats, it leaves behind rich, dark soil. Farmers then plant their crops. The whole valley waits for the river. Not with fear, but with understanding. The river has its own rhythm. People have learned to live with it. The boat passes a group of farmers working beside a field. One man lifts his head. He waves. You wave back. A little farther along, the boat stops beside a wooden landing. A farmer named Mena is waiting there. He has arranged several baskets of grain. He has agreed to travel with the boat to the next settlement. Mena is tall and quiet. His hands are rough from many years of work. He carries a simple walking stick. When he climbs aboard, he places the baskets carefully beneath the shade. Good harvest? Hori asks. Mena smiles. Better than last year. He sits near the edge of the boat. You begin talking. He tells you about his farm. It is not large. A few fields, a small garden, several date palms, some chickens, 2 oxen, a donkey, a family home made from mud brick, nothing grand. But he speaks about it with pride. My father worked the same land. And his father, the same. He looks toward the river. The land remembers. The words stay with you. The land remembers. Perhaps it remembers every season. Every harvest, every flood. Every family that planted seeds in the dark soil. The boat continues. Mena points toward a field on the eastern bank. There is good soil there. You see several farmers planting. They work in a line. One makes a shallow hole. Another drops a seed. Another covers it with soil. The movement is slow. Almost rhythmic. Hole. Seed. Soil. Hole. Seed. Soil. The work looks simple, but the future depends upon it. Every loaf of bread begins with a small seed. Every harvest begins with patient hands. You watch for a long time. There is something calming about repetitive work. Nothing needs to happen quickly. The farmers are working for weeks and months ahead. They are planting today for food that will come later. The river does the same. It moves steadily toward a future it cannot see. By mid-morning, the boat reaches a larger farming settlement. The shoreline is busy. Several boats are unloading grain. Workers carry baskets toward a storage building. A group of donkeys waits patiently beside a cart. The air smells of wheat and warm earth. You step ashore. Mena leads you toward the fields. A narrow path passes between irrigation channels. Water flows quietly beside the road. The sound is soothing. A small wooden bridge crosses one channel. You step over it carefully. On the other side is a large field. Rows of wheat stretch toward the horizon. The stalks move in the breeze. They make a soft whispering sound. Like dry grass rubbing against itself. Mena smiles. This is what we wait for. He picks up a single stalk. The grains are beginning to fill. Soon the harvest will come. Workers will cut the wheat, tie it into bundles, carry it to the threshing floor. Separate grain from straw. Then store it carefully. Nothing will be wasted. You walk farther into the valley. The fields seem endless, but between them are small signs of everyday life. A farmer rests beneath a sycamore tree. 2 children chase each other along a path. A woman washes vegetables beside an irrigation channel. A donkey drinks from a clay basin. A flock of geese moves noisily across a field. A dog sleeps in the shade. Ordinary scenes, quiet scenes. Yet these are the scenes that made ancient civilization possible. great temples and monuments could be built because ordinary people planted crops. Scribes could write because farmers produced food. Merchants could travel because villages had grain to trade. Cities could grow because the river made farming possible. The grand history of Egypt rests upon these quiet fields. You return to the river around midday. The sun is high now. The air is warm. Hori has found a shady place beneath a large tree. Lunch is waiting. Bread, onions, fresh vegetables, dates. A little cheese. Water cooled inside a clay jar. You eat slowly. The shade is pleasant. The river moves nearby. After lunch, you lie back for a while. The sound of water mixes with the distant voices of farmers. You close your eyes. For a few minutes, you almost fall asleep. The journey does not require constant attention. The Nile knows where it is going. The boat knows the river. The river knows the valley. You can simply rest. Later in the afternoon, the boat continues. The landscape changes slightly. The fields become wider. More palm trees appear. In the distance, you see a line of low hills. Beyond them, perhaps, lies another city. But before reaching it, the boat passes a large communal threshing floor. Several farmers are working there. Bundles of wheat lie in neat piles. Oxen walk slowly around a circular area, their feet separating grain from straw. The movement is steady. Round and round. A man uses a wooden fork to lift straw into the breeze. The lighter pieces float away. The heavier grain falls back onto the ground. The work is ancient. Simple. Patient. You stand watching. A young girl notices you. She approaches with a small basket. Inside are freshly harvested grains. She offers you a handful. You hold them in your palm. Tiny seeds. So small. Yet from these seeds come bread. From bread comes strength. From strength comes work. And from work comes another harvest. A whole civilization can be hidden inside a handful of grain. The girl smiles, then returns to her family. The afternoon begins to cool. Shadows lengthen across the fields. The farmers finish their work. Oxen are led home. Tools are gathered. Baskets are carried away. The valley becomes quieter. You notice something beautiful. At sunset, the green fields seem to glow. The wheat turns gold, the palm trees become dark silhouettes. The irrigation channels reflect the sky. The Nile becomes a long ribbon of copper. The desert beyond the valley turns purple. You sit quietly at the front of the boat. Mena has already left at the previous settlement. Before departing, he gave you a small piece of wheat. Keep it, he said. A reminder of the valley. You place it carefully inside your travel journal. Another memory. Another small piece of the journey. The boat continues into the evening. The sail is lowered. The crew guides the boat toward a quiet bank. Tonight there is no village nearby. Only fields. Trees. And the river. A simple meal is prepared. Bread. Vegetables. Dates. Fish. You eat beneath the darkening sky. The first stars appear. The fields become shadows. The river becomes silver. A night breeze moves across the valley. You hear frogs calling from the irrigation channels. One. Then another. Then many. Their voices blend into a soft nighttime chorus. The crew settles down. The boat grows still. You lie beneath the woven shelter. Your head rests against a folded cloth. The boat moves gently with the current. You think about the farmers, their quiet work, their patience. their trust in the river. They plant seeds without knowing exactly what tomorrow will bring. They simply prepare the soil, place the seed, guide the water, and wait. Perhaps there is something peaceful in that. Not everything needs to be known in advance. Some things simply need time. The Nile continues carrying the boat south. The river does not hurry. The farmers do not hurry. The stars do not hurry. And tonight, neither do you. The valley sleeps. The fields rest beneath the moon. The wheat waits for harvest. The palms whisper softly in the darkness. And the ancient Nile continues flowing between the green valley and the silent desert. Tomorrow, the journey will lead you toward a larger settlement where scribes, craftsmen, merchants, and boat builders gather beside the river, but that is tomorrow. Tonight, listen to the water. Feel the gentle movement of the boat. Breathe slowly, and let the quiet rhythm of the farmer's valley carry you peacefully towards sleep. Morning comes slowly to the green valley. The night mist still rests above the fields. When you wake, the Nile is quiet. A thin layer of silver lies upon the surface of the water. The eastern sky is pale. Somewhere beyond the fields, a rooster calls. Then another answers. The world is beginning another day. You remain beneath the woven shelter for a few moments. The wooden boat moves gently beneath you, back and forth. Back and forth. The rhythm is familiar now. The Nile has become a companion. You can almost recognize its moods. The quiet water of morning. The bright movement of midday. The golden reflections of evening. And now, this peaceful silver dawn. Hori is standing near the bow. He watches the river ahead. The crew prepares the sail. A small fire burns in a clay brazier. Breakfast is simple. Bread, dates, figs, honey, cool water. You eat slowly. Beyond the riverbank, the farmers are already beginning their work. They move like small figures through the mist. A man leads an ox toward the fields. Two women walk beside an irrigation channel. A child carries a basket. The valley is waking. The boat begins moving. The sail rises. A gentle breeze fills it. The river carries you south. For a while, the landscape remains familiar. Fields, palm trees, mud brick houses, irrigation channels. But as the morning continues, something changes. The number of boats increases. You see cargo boats carrying grain, fishing boats, small passenger boats, long vessels carrying stone. One boat is filled with bundles of papyrus. Another carries pottery. The river is becoming busier. Hori points toward the horizon. There is the town. At first you see only a few rooftops. Then a tower. Then a long line of buildings beside the river. The settlement grows larger as you approach. Its harbor is crowded with boats. People move along the docks. Workers carry baskets. Merchants examine goods. Sailors tie ropes. Donkeys pull carts. The town is not enormous, but compared with the villages you have visited, it feels full of activity. This is a place where people come to trade, and where information travels as quickly as goods. The boat enters the harbor. Hori speaks with a dock worker. The boat is tied securely. You step onto the shore. The ground is warm beneath your feet. Immediately, you notice a different sound, the sound of writing. Not literally at first. It is the sound of people talking about writing. A merchant is discussing a contract. A farmer has brought records of grain. A boat owner is checking a list of supplies. A temple worker carries a bundle of documents. Near the center of town stands a small building with a shaded courtyard. A wooden sign hangs above the entrance. Inside are several young men seated at low tables. They are scribes. They write carefully upon sheets of papyrus. You stop outside. One of them looks up. He smiles. Come in. His name is DJ Eat. He is perhaps 20 years old. His head is closely shaved. He wears a simple white linen garment. In one hand he holds a reed pen. Beside him are small bowls of ink. One contains black ink. Another contains red. He explains that the black ink is used for most writing. Red is used for headings and important words. You watch as he prepares the pen. The reed is cut carefully. Its tip is shaped into a small writing point. He dips it into the black ink, then touches the pen lightly against the edge of the bowl. He begins to write. The marks appear quickly. Careful. Elegant. Precise. You ask what he is writing. A grain record. He smiles. Nothing exciting. But you realize that this simple record is important. It tells someone how much grain has arrived, how much has been stored, how much can be traded. Writing helps people remember. Without it, a busy town would quickly become confused. Jayutitip shows you another document. This one is a letter. Someone is writing to a relative in another town. The message is ordinary. News about a harvest, a question about a shipment, a greeting. Perhaps a small complaint. Perhaps a reminder. Thousands of years later, such a letter would still feel familiar. People have always wanted to tell others what happened during their day. The scribe smiles. Most writing is not about kings. He points toward the letter. It is about people. You continue through the courtyard. Several young students sit together. They practice writing symbols on small pieces of broken pottery. Not every student has enough papyrus to practice upon. So fragments of pottery are useful. One boy carefully copies a line, another makes a mistake. His teacher gently corrects him. Again and again. Writing takes patience. You remember the farmers. Their work also required patience. Planting, watering, waiting. Perhaps every useful skill begins the same way. With repetition, outside the scribal school, the town continues its mourning. A carpenter works beneath an awning. He shapes a wooden chair. A potter turns clay upon a wheel. A woman weaves linen. A baker carries fresh bread toward the market. A metal worker carefully heats a piece of copper. The river town is full of craftsmen. The Nile brings them together. Goods arrive by boat. Grain. Fish. Papyrus. Stone. Wood. Dates. Oil. And from the town, finished goods travel onward. Cloth. Tools. Pottery. Furniture. Written documents. Knowledge. The river carries everything. You walk toward the market. The streets are shaded by woven awnings. Merchants call gently to passing customers. A basket maker displays beautiful reed baskets. A spice seller has arranged small bowls of fragrant herbs. A fruit seller offers dates and figs. A fisherman has laid fresh fish upon a bed of wet reeds. You stop beside a stall selling small pieces of papyrus. The seller explains how the plant is prepared. Papyrus grows along the river. Its tall green stems are cut. The outer layer is removed. The inner fibers are separated. Then they are laid in strips. One direction. Then another. The layers are pressed together. When dried, they form a strong, flexible writing surface. You touch one of the finished sheets. It is surprisingly smooth. A plant growing beside the river has become a place where words can live. The thought is beautiful. The Nile gives water. The Nile gives food. And the Nile gives people the means to preserve their thoughts. You buy a small piece of papyrus. The merchant rolls it carefully. You place it safely inside your travel bag. Another memory. Another part of the journey. By midday, the town becomes warmer. The streets grow quieter. Many people retreat into shaded courtyards. You return to the river. A small lunch is waiting beneath the awning of a riverside house. Bread, olives, onions, fresh vegetables, fish, dates. The river flows beside you. Across the water, the green fields shimmer beneath the sun. You can see farmers still working. The connection between field and town becomes clear. Grain comes from the farms. It arrives by boat. Scribes record it, merchants trade it. Bakers turn it into bread. Families eat it. The whole town depends upon a chain of ordinary work. After lunch, Jeutitip returns. He carries a small writing board. I thought you might like this. On it is a simple drawing of the Nile. The river is shown as a long winding line. Tiny boats travel along it. Palm trees stand beside the banks. At the top, Jeutitip has written your name using Egyptian symbols. You smile. How will anyone know this is my name? He laughs. They will know because I wrote it. It is a small gift, but it feels meaningful. A name written by hand. A moment preserved. You thank him. Then he returns to his work. The afternoon passes quietly. You wander through the town. At one courtyard, a group of scribes reads aloud from an old text. Their voices are low, measured, almost musical. You cannot understand every word, but you enjoy the rhythm. Ancient language rises and falls. The listeners remain quiet. Some take notes. Others simply listen. You think about how many generations have sat in places like this. Learning, copying, remembering. A civilization is not preserved only in stone. It is preserved in words. As the sun begins to descend, the town changes again. The market becomes busy. Boats arrive from neighboring villages. Workers finish their tasks. Children run along the riverbank. The air cools. A golden glow spreads across the buildings. The scribes begin putting away their materials. Ink bowls are covered. Pens are cleaned. Papyrus sheets are rolled carefully. The day's work is finished. You return to the harbor. Your boat waits beside the water. Hori is preparing for another night. Cloud rests nearby beneath a palm tree. His blue cloth is draped neatly beside him. He raises his head when you approach. One bell sounds. Clink. You smile. The familiar sound feels like home now. Dinner is simple. Bread. Vegetables. Fish. Dates. You sit beside the river. The town glows behind you. Small lamps appear in doorways. A few lanterns hang beside the harbor. Their reflections tremble upon the water. You think about Jeutitip's gift, your name, written on a small board. A simple line of symbols. Yet someone thousands of years ago could have felt exactly the same pleasure. Seeing a thought become writing. Seeing a name preserved, the night deepens. The river becomes dark silver beneath the moon. The boats rock gently against their ropes. A scribe walks along the harbor carrying a small bundle of papyrus. He disappears into the shadows. Perhaps tomorrow, another letter will begin its journey. Perhaps it will travel to a distant village. Perhaps it will cross the desert. Perhaps it will be carried by another boat. Words travel too. Just like people. Just like grain. Just like stories. You lie down beneath the woven shelter. The boat moves gently. The river makes its quiet sound. She. Your eyes begin to grow heavy. Tomorrow, the journey will continue toward a place where the river passes great fields of reeds and wide temple lands. You will see workers preparing boats. You will hear stories about distant cities. And perhaps, far ahead, the first great stone monuments will begin to appear above the horizon. But not tonight. Tonight, the town sleeps. The scribes sleep. The farmers sleep. The boats rest upon the Nile. The papyrus waits quietly for tomorrow's words. And beneath the ancient Egyptian sky, the river continues flowing slowly. Patiently. Forever. Let your breathing become calm. Listen to the water. Let the boat rock gently beneath you. And allow the quiet sounds of the river town to fade into dreams. Morning arrives quietly in the river town. The first light touches the rooftops. The harbor is still. Boats rest against their wooden posts. Ropes lie coiled upon the docks. The Nile moves slowly beneath them. You wake to the soft creaking of the boat. For a moment, you remain beneath the woven shelter. The air is cool. A faint breeze moves across the river. Somewhere in the town, a baker is already preparing the morning bread. You can smell the warm grain drifting across the water. Then comes the distant sound of a bell, not loud. Just one gentle note. The town is beginning another day. You step onto the deck. Cloud is waiting beside the riverbank. His blue cloth hangs neatly beside his harness. He raises his head when he sees you clink. One small bell moves, a quiet greeting. You smile. Good morning. Hori is preparing the boat. Today, he tells you, the river will lead toward an ancient temple. It stands farther south, beside a quiet bend in the Nile. The temple is not one of the greatest monuments of Egypt. It is smaller, more peaceful. But its priests have watched the river from the same place for generations. You finish a simple breakfast. Bread. Dates. Figs. Honey. Water. The ropes are released. The sail rises. The boat begins moving. The river carries you away from the town. Slowly, the busy harbor disappears behind you. The voices become softer. The rooftops become smaller. Soon there are only fields and palms. The Nile stretches peacefully on both sides. Morning sunlight fills the valley. Farmers are already working. A man leads an ox through a field. Women gather vegetables. Children carry baskets. A fisherman throws a net into the water. The river continues its endless work. After several hours, Hori points toward the eastern bank. There. At first you see only trees. Then a stone wall. Then two tall columns rising above the palms, the temple. It stands on a low terrace overlooking the Nile. Its walls are warm golden stone. The morning sun touches the upper edges. The lower parts remain cool and shadowed. A narrow path leads from the river toward the entrance. The boat approaches a small landing. Hori ties the rope. You step ashore. The temple is quiet. There are no crowds. No merchants. No carts. Only the sound of birds and the river. A priest is walking slowly across the courtyard. He wears a simple white linen robe. His name is Paneasi. He welcomes you with a gentle smile. Travelers are always welcome. You follow him through the entrance. The first courtyard is surrounded by stone columns. Their surfaces are covered with carvings. Some show flowers, others show birds. There are images of kings making offerings, images of gods, images of boats, images of the Nile. The carvings are beautiful. But what strikes you most is how peaceful the place feels. The sunlight moves slowly across the stone floor. Birds nest high among the columns. A breeze passes through the open courtyard. The temple seems to breathe with the river. Paneasi explains that the temple is dedicated to a local form of the river's protective spirit. The people of nearby villages come here to give thanks for the water. They bring offerings, bread, flowers, fruit, oil. Sometimes small clay figures. Not because they believe the river belongs to them, but because they understand that their lives depend upon it. You enter a smaller chamber. The walls are painted with faded colors. Blue, red, yellow, green. The colors have softened with age, but they remain beautiful. On one wall is a painted scene of the river. Boats travel across the water. Farmers work beside fields. Birds fly above the reeds. Fish swim beneath the surface. It is almost like looking at the world outside. Only painted upon stone, you stand quietly. The painting reminds you of everything you have already seen. The fishermen, the farmers, the boats. The reeds, the palm trees, the river. Ancient artists were recording their world. Perhaps they wanted future generations to remember. Paneasi leads you deeper into the temple. The rooms become darker. The air becomes cooler. The sounds of the outside world fade. Only the occasional call of a bird reaches you. At the center of the temple is a small shrine. A single oil lamp burns before it. The flame moves gently. Paneasi places a small flower beside it. Then he stands quietly. You do the same. There is no need for words. The silence is enough. After a while, you return to the courtyard. The sun is now higher. The stone is warm beneath your feet. A group of villagers has arrived. They carry baskets. One woman brings fresh bread. Another brings flowers. A fisherman brings a small basket of fish. An old farmer brings dates from his palms. The offerings are simple, but each comes from someone's work. Bread from the baker, fish from the river. Dates from the orchard, flowers from the garden. The temple receives pieces of everyday life. You watch quietly. There is something beautiful about this. The sacred and the ordinary are not separate. They meet here. At the temple, beside the river. Paneasi invites you to sit beneath a shaded colonnade. He brings a small cup of cool water. The water comes directly from the Nile. You drink. It is simple, but after days of travel, it feels refreshing. The priest smiles. Everything begins with water. You think about the villages. The fields, the papyrus. The boats. The people. He is right. Water is at the beginning of everything. Around midday, the temple becomes quiet again. The villagers return home. The priest begins his afternoon work. You walk outside. A small garden grows beside the temple. There are lotus flowers in a shallow pool. Their green leaves float upon the surface. Pink blossoms rise above them. Dragonflies hover over the water. A pair of ducks rests beneath the shade. The garden is peaceful. You sit beside the pool. A gentle breeze moves across the surface. The lotus flowers sway. For several minutes, you simply watch. Nothing happens. And that is exactly what makes it peaceful. The afternoon passes slowly. The temple shadows grow longer. The sunlight moves across the columns. A priest sweeps the courtyard with a palm fiber broom. The sound is soft, swish, swish, swish. A young novice carries water jars. Another cleans the lamps. The work is ordinary. Even a temple needs someone to sweep the floor. As the afternoon begins to fade, you return to the riverbank. Cloud waits beneath a palm tree. He seems relaxed. His blue cloth has been warmed by the sun. You place your hand upon his neck. He lowers his head. The familiar bell sounds softly. Clink. The river flows beside you. Across the water, the desert is beginning to change color. Gold becomes orange. Orange becomes red. The temple walls glow in the evening light. The columns become long shadows. You watch the sunset from the riverbank. The temple behind you. The Nile before you. The desert beyond. It feels like standing between three worlds. Water. Stone. Sand. The sun slowly disappears. The sky becomes violet. The first stars appear. The priest lights small lamps along the temple courtyard. One. Then another. Then another. Warm points of light appear among the columns. From the river, they look like tiny stars upon the shore. Dinner is prepared aboard the boat. Bread. Fish. Vegetables. Dates. You eat quietly. There are no crowds. No music. Only the gentle sounds of the river. The temple remains illuminated behind you. A soft breeze moves across the water. You hear the distant call of a night bird. Then silence. You lie beneath the woven shelter. The boat rocks gently. The temple lights flicker in the distance. The Nile moves beneath the moon. You think about the people who stood here long before you. Farmers. Fishermen. Priests. Children. Travelers. They watched the same sunset. They listened to the same river. They saw the same stars. The world has changed, but the river remains. Still moving. Still carrying boats. Still feeding fields. Still reflecting the moon. Tomorrow, the journey will continue. The temple will slowly disappear behind the boat. The river will lead you toward wider fields and larger settlements. Perhaps you will see great stone buildings. Perhaps you will meet craftsmen shaping wood and stone. Perhaps the desert will begin to reveal monuments that seem almost impossible to imagine. But tonight, the temple rests beside the Nile. The lamps burn quietly. The lotus flowers close beneath the moon. The villagers sleep. The priests rest. And the river continues its ancient journey. Shidashash. Let the sound become softer. Let your breathing slow. The boat rocks gently beneath you. The stars shine above. And the temple by the riverbank watches quietly over the sleeping Nile. Rest now. The journey will continue tomorrow. Morning arrives beside the temple. The lamps that burned through the night have gone dark. The courtyard is quiet. The lotus flowers rest upon the surface of the temple pool, their petals still closed against the cool morning air. Beyond the stone walls, the Nile moves steadily beneath a pale blue sky. You wake aboard the riverboat to the soft sound of water against the hull. She. For a moment, you remain still. The boat rises gently. Then settles. The river carries it almost without effort. You step onto the deck. Cloud is already awake on the riverbank. He stands beneath a palm tree, looking toward the water. His blue cloth hangs neatly beside his harness. When he notices you, his ears lift. Clink. One bell moves. You smile. Good morning, Cloud. Hori is preparing breakfast. The smell of warm bread drifts across the deck. There are dates. Figs. Bread. A little honey. Cool water. The morning is peaceful. The temple stands behind you. Its stone walls are touched by the first sunlight. The priests have begun their daily work. One sweeps the courtyard. Another carries water. A third opens the wooden doors of the shrine. From the river, the temple looks almost timeless. You wonder how many mornings began exactly like this. Perhaps thousands, perhaps more. The crew releases the ropes. The sail rises. The boat turns gently into the current. The temple begins to disappear. First the courtyard, then the columns. Then the upper walls. Soon only the tops of the palm trees remain visible. Then even those vanish behind a bend in the river. The journey continues. The Nile becomes wider. The riverbank opens into a broad green plain. Farmers work among fields of barley. Palm trees stand beside small houses. Birds rise from the reeds. The sun climbs higher. For several hours, the boat moves quietly. You watch the landscape pass. Sometimes there are villages. Sometimes only fields. Sometimes stretches of wild reeds. The river is never empty. There is always movement somewhere. A fishing boat, a farmer, a child beside the water. A flock of birds, a donkey pulling a cart. Then, late in the morning, you begin to hear something different. A rhythmic sound. Knock. Pause. Knock. It comes from somewhere ahead. Hori smiles. That is the boatyard. You look toward the riverbank. At first, you see only a few wooden structures. Then more. Long sheds, piles of timber. Wooden frames. Boats resting upon supports. The riverbank is alive with craftsmen. This is the Southern Quay. A place where boats are built, repaired, and prepared for long journeys along the Nile. The boat slows. Hori guides you toward a wooden dock. Several workers wave. The smell reaches you before you step ashore. Fresh wood. Resin. River mud. Smoke. It is a warm, pleasant smell. You step onto the quay. All around you, boat builders are busy. Some shape wooden planks, others prepare ropes. A group of men works beneath a large awning. They are fitting a hull together. The boat is not yet complete. Its ribs rise from the ground like the skeleton of some enormous fish. A carpenter notices you watching. He smiles. His name is Beck. He is an experienced boat builder with gray hair and strong hands. Come closer. You approach. He points toward the wooden frame. This will carry grain. He explains that different boats are built for different purposes. Some carry people, some carry cargo, some carry stone. Others are small fishing boats. Every boat begins with a design. Then comes the wood, then the frame, then the outer planks, then the mast, then the sail. Finally, the boat is sealed and tested upon the river. You watch as the craftsmen carefully lift a long plank. They place it against the frame. Another worker holds it in place. A fourth secures it with rope. Everything is done slowly, carefully. There is no room for rushing. A mistake in a boat can become dangerous far from shore. Beck touches the wood. Every piece must fit. He smiles. Just like people. You look at the unfinished boat. Each plank depends upon the others. One piece alone cannot become a vessel. Together, they become something capable of carrying people across the river. The thought stays with you. Nearby, another group works on a smaller boat. A young apprentice sands a wooden paddle. He moves the tool back and forth back. Forward dot, back dot, forward dot. His work is repetitive. But the paddle becomes smoother with every movement. The apprentice looks up. His name is Nezu. He has been learning the craft for 3 years. You ask whether he enjoys it. He smiles. I like seeing something become useful. He holds up the paddle. It started as a piece of wood. Now it is something that can guide a boat. Perhaps that is what craftsmanship means. Taking something ordinary, giving it shape, giving it purpose. You continue along the quay. A large cargo boat is being repaired. Its hull rests upon wooden supports. Several workers scrape away old material. Others apply a dark resin to the seams. The resin protects the wood from water. A small fire burns nearby. A pot of resin warms over the flames. The smell is strong, warm, earthy. A craftsman dips a wooden tool into the mixture. He spreads it carefully across the seams, dot slowly, dot evenly. A small leak might seem unimportant, but on a long river journey, even a tiny opening could become a problem. The builders understand this. Everything matters, even the smallest detail. By midday, the sun is high. The boatyard becomes warm. Most of the workers move beneath shaded awnings. You sit with Beck beneath a large woven canopy. Lunch is shared. Bread, onions, dates, fish. Vegetables. Cool water. Bek eats slowly. He watches the river while he talks. He tells you that some boats travel for months. They carry grain north. Stone south. Timber from distant lands. Papyrus. Pottery. Oil. Wine. Everything moves along the Nile. A boat is more than wood. It is a bridge between places. Between villages. Between cities. Between people. Beck points toward the river. Without boats, the river would be only water. He smiles. With boats, it becomes a road. You look at the passing vessels. He is right. The Nile is a road made of water. After lunch, Beck shows you a small storage building. Inside are ropes, sails, wooden pegs, tools, and pieces of timber. Everything is organized carefully. Ropes hang from wooden hooks. Sails are folded and stacked. Paddles lean against the wall. Wooden mallets rest upon a shelf. The tools are simple, but each has a purpose. You notice several pieces of imported wood. They are darker and harder than the local timber. Beck explains that some of the best wood must travel a great distance before reaching Egypt. It may cross the sea. Then be carried by caravan, then loaded onto boats. A single piece of wood can travel farther than the boat that eventually carries it. The thought makes you smile. The Silk Road and the Nile are connected. Goods do not follow only one road. They move through many hands, many rivers, many markets. Many journeys. In the afternoon, a newly completed boat is prepared for its first test. The workers gather around it. The vessel is pushed carefully toward the water. Its hull touches the Nile. The boat floats. For a moment, everyone is silent. Then it remains steady. The workers smile. One man pats the side. Good. The boat has passed its first test. A young boy climbs aboard. He holds the rope while two workers guide the vessel into deeper water. The boat moves beautifully, smoothly. Almost silently. The workers watch with quiet pride. You understand. This is not simply a boat. It is the result of many hands, many hours. Many careful decisions. A piece of wood has become a vessel, and the vessel will soon become part of someone else's story. Perhaps it will carry grain, perhaps a family, perhaps a merchant, perhaps a traveler like you. As the afternoon fades, the boatyard becomes quieter. Tools are cleaned. Wood shavings are swept away. Ropes are coiled. Sails are folded. The workers wash their hands in the river. The sun begins to sink. Golden light fills the quay. The unfinished boats glow orange. The wooden frames cast long shadows across the ground. You return to your boat. Cloud is waiting nearby. He has been resting beneath a palm tree. His blue cloth moves gently in the evening breeze. When you approach, he gives a quiet snort. Clink. His bell sounds once. You place your hand on his neck. The familiar warmth is comforting. Dinner is prepared aboard the boat. Fresh bread. Vegetables. Fish. Dates. You sit near the bow. The boatyard is slowly disappearing into evening. The river reflects the sunset. Gold. Copper. Deep orange. The newly finished boat floats quietly near the dock. Its first journey has begun. Soon the first stars appear, one by one. The workers return home. The quay becomes silent. Only the river remains. Shitha. You lie beneath the woven shelter. The wooden deck is warm from the day's sunlight. The boat rocks gently. You think about the boat builders, their patient hands, their careful work. Their understanding of wood, their respect for water. Tomorrow, another boat will be built. Another will be repaired. Another will leave the quay. The work will continue. Just as the river continues. Just as the fields continue growing. Just as the sun continues rising. Nothing truly stops. It simply changes hands. The river carries the boat. The boat carries the people. The people carry the stories. And the stories travel onward. You close your eyes. The sound of the river becomes softer. The breeze moves through the palm trees. Somewhere on the quay, a loose rope taps gently against a wooden post. Tap. Then silence. The ancient Nile carries you through the darkness. Tomorrow, the journey will continue toward a region where the river becomes surrounded by magnificent stone walls, quiet gardens, and ancient workshops. But tonight, the boatyard sleeps. The boats rest upon the water. The tools are still. The workers dream. And the Nile continues flowing beneath the moon. Slowly. Peacefully. Endlessly. Rest now. Let the gentle rocking of the boat carry you deeper into sleep. Morning returns to the Nile. The night has passed quietly. The stars have faded. The moon has disappeared beyond the western desert. And now, above the eastern horizon, a soft golden light begins to spread across the sky. You wake aboard the riverboat. The first thing you hear is water. She. The boat rises gently. Then settles. The movement is so peaceful that you remain beneath the woven shelter for a little longer. There is nowhere to hurry. The Nile is carrying you. Outside, Hori is already awake. He speaks quietly with the crew. Ropes are checked. The sail is folded open. The small cooking fire is prepared. Cloud stands near the riverbank beneath a palm tree. His blue cloth is still damp with morning dew. When you approach, He lifts his head. Clink. The little bell sounds. You smile. Good morning. He gives a soft breath through his nose. The day begins. Breakfast is simple. Warm bread, dates, figs, a little honey, cool water. You eat while watching the river wake. Across the water, reeds move gently in the breeze. Birds rise from among them. Some fly low over the river. Others settle upon the muddy banks. The air is cool and fresh. There is a smell of wet earth. River water. Green plants. And distant smoke from village cooking fires. Hori tells you that today you will visit a place where the river grows especially rich with plants. A garden. Not a garden enclosed by walls. A garden created naturally by water. A place of lotus flowers, papyrus, reeds, fish, birds, and quiet pools. The boat begins moving. The sail rises. The northern wind catches it. Slowly, the boat glides south. The riverbank changes. The fields become less crowded. Palm trees become scattered. Wide patches of papyrus appear beside the water. The plants rise several meters above the surface. Their green stems sway in the breeze. They form thick walls along parts of the river. Birds disappear into them. Then emerge again. You can hear them calling from inside. A soft rustling comes from the reeds. The wind moves through them. Whispering, almost singing, the boat slows. Hori guides it toward a narrow channel between the papyrus. The water becomes still. The current is gentle here. The main river seems far away. You enter a quiet world of green. Papyrus grows on both sides. Its tall stems bend slightly above the boat. The sunlight passes through the leaves. Everything becomes green and gold. The crew lowers the sail. The boat moves forward with a paddle. Dip, pull, dip, pull. The sounds of the main river disappear. There is only the paddle. The birds, the breeze, and the water. You feel as though you have entered a hidden garden. A small blue bird lands upon a reed. It watches the boat, then flies away. A pair of ducks moves across the water. Their reflections tremble behind them. Fish swim beneath the surface. Every now and then, one jumps. Splash. Then silence. The channel opens into a wider pool. And there they are. Lotus flowers. Hundreds of them. Pink blossoms rise above broad green leaves. Some are still closed. Others are fully open. Their petals catch the morning light. The flowers float upon the quiet water. You stare in silence. The scene is beautiful. The lotus has always been important to the people of the Nile. It grows from muddy water. Its roots remain beneath the surface. Its leaves float above. Its flowers rise into the sunlight. Perhaps that is why people find it so meaningful. Something beautiful can emerge from ordinary mud. You ask Hori whether people cultivate these flowers. Sometimes, he says, but many grow naturally. The boat drifts between them. You are careful not to touch the flowers. A light breeze moves across the pool. The lotus petals tremble. One flower opens slightly farther. Another closes as a cloud passes over the sun. The world feels very quiet. You sit at the front of the boat. For several minutes, no one speaks. There is nothing to explain, nothing to do. You simply watch. A dragonfly lands upon a floating leaf. A fish moves beneath it. A bird calls from the papyrus. The river carries the boat slowly onward. Eventually, the channel opens again. Beyond the papyrus garden is a small settlement. Several families live beside the water. Their houses are simple, mud brick. Wood. Palm leaves. A small garden grows near each home. You step ashore. An elderly woman is gathering papyrus stems near the river. She sees you and smiles. Her name is Tia. She has worked with papyrus since she was a child. She shows you how the stems are cut. A small knife removes them close to the water. The long green stalk is lifted carefully. She explains that papyrus can be used for many things: writing material, mats, baskets, rope, sandals, roof coverings, even small boats. You touch one of the stems. It is surprisingly strong. Tia smiles. Water gives us the plant, and the plant gives us many things. She carries several stems toward a shaded work area. You follow. The women of the settlement sit together beneath a woven shelter. Some are preparing papyrus for weaving. Others are making mats. Their hands move steadily. Over, under. Over, under. The same patient rhythm you have seen among basket makers. The same rhythm you saw among boat builders. The same rhythm found in farming. Ancient life is filled with repeated movements. Simple actions performed carefully. A skill becomes knowledge. Knowledge becomes tradition. Tradition becomes part of everyday life. Tia gives you a small strip of dried papyrus. You bend it carefully. It does not break. She shows you how to split it. The inside is pale, soft, fibrous. These fibers can be pressed together, layer by layer. The result becomes a smooth writing surface. You think of the scribes in the river town, their black ink, their red headings, their careful symbols. Those words began here, beside the water, inside a green plant. The connection seems remarkable. A reed beside the river can become a letter can become a message can travel by boat, and a boat can carry that message hundreds of miles. The Nile connects everything. You thank Tia. She gives you a small woven piece of papyrus, a simple souvenir. You place it carefully inside your travel bag. Another memory. Another piece of the river. The papyrus garden becomes warm. The women rest beneath the shade. Children play beside the water. A small boy tries to catch a fish with his hands. The fish escapes. He laughs. His sister laughs. Their mother calls them back. You sit beneath a palm tree. A meal is shared. Bread, fish, onions, dates. Fresh vegetables. Water. The food tastes simple. But after a morning beside the river, it feels perfect. You eat slowly. The breeze moves through the palm leaves. The sound is soft. Hush, hush. You close your eyes. The warmth of the sun rests upon your face. The river moves nearby. For a few minutes, you drift towards sleep. When you open your eyes again, the afternoon has begun. The light has changed. The sun is no longer directly overhead. The shadows are longer. The lotus flowers look different now. Their colors are deeper. The pink petals seem almost golden around the edges. You return to the boat. The crew has prepared everything. The channel leads back toward the Nile. You push away from the shore. Tia and the children wave. You wave back. The boat moves through the papyrus. The tall green stems pass on both sides. The channel becomes wider. The main river appears again. The current carries you onward. For a while, you see no houses, only water. Reeds. Fields. And sky. Then a large flock of birds raises from the riverbank. Hundreds of wings move together. They turn toward the sun. For a moment, the sky seems filled with silver feathers. Then the flock disappears beyond the palms. The afternoon becomes quiet. You sit near the bow. A lotus flower floats beside the boat dot. It drifts backward as the boat moves forward. You watch it until it becomes a tiny pink dot, then it disappears. There is something peaceful about leaving things behind. The river is always teaching this. Every moment passes. Every village disappears behind the bend. Every flower moves away. Every sunset becomes night. And still, the journey continues. As evening approaches, the boat stops beside a quiet bank. The crew ties the ropes. Cloud rests beneath a palm tree. The sky begins to change. Gold, orange, rose, purple. The papyrus garden is now far behind you, but its memory remains. The lotus flowers, the quiet channels, the sound of birds, the patient hands preparing papyrus. You sit beside the river and watch the sunset. A fisherman returns home. His boat cuts slowly through the golden water. A woman calls to her children from a nearby house. Someone lights a small lamp. Smoke rises into the evening air. The first star appears, then another. The Nile becomes dark silver. The reeds become shadows. The lotus flowers close their petals. The garden prepares for night. You return to the boat. Dinner is waiting. Bread. Vegetables. Fish. Dates. You eat quietly beneath the stars. The crew speaks softly. Cloud's bell moves once. Clink. Then everything becomes still. You lie beneath the woven shelter. The river rocks the boat. Back and forth, back and forth. You think about the lotus. It grows from darkness beneath the water. Yet its flower reaches toward the light. Perhaps that is one of the quiet lessons of the river. Life does not need to be hurried. The seed rests. The roots grow. The stem rises. And eventually, the flower opens. Everything happens in its own time. The same is true of the Nile. The same is true of the journey. The same is true of sleep. You do not need to force it. You only need to become still. Listen to the water. Feel the gentle movement of the boat. Hear the distant reeds whispering along the shore. The stars shine above the sleeping river. The lotus garden rests in darkness. The papyrus bends gently in the night breeze. And somewhere far behind you, the quiet settlement beneath the palms has fallen asleep. Tomorrow, the journey will continue. The river will carry you farther south, toward ancient quarries, toward stone workers, toward great monuments that have waited beneath the Egyptian sun for thousands of years. But tonight, there is only the river, only the stars, only the gentle rocking of the boat. Rest now, breathe slowly, and let the ancient Nile carry you peacefully into sleep. Morning arrives gently upon the river. The night has left behind a cool silence. The Nile is almost perfectly still. A thin mist floats above the water. Beyond it, the eastern sky is beginning to brighten, soft blue, then pale gold. Then the first warm light of morning. You wake beneath the woven shelter. The boat moves gently beneath you, back and forth, back and forth. The familiar rhythm makes it easy to remain still. You listen. Water against wood, the faint creaking of ropes. A bird calling somewhere among the reeds. Then the quiet footsteps of the crew. Another day has begun. You step onto the deck. Cloud is standing near the riverbank. He looks toward the horizon. His blue cloth catches the first breeze of the morning. Clink. His little bell sounds softly. Hori smiles when he sees you. Today, he says, we travel toward the stone country. You look ahead. The landscape is beginning to change. The wide green fields of the northern valley become narrower. Palm trees appear less frequently. The desert seems closer now. Golden hills rise beyond the river. Their surfaces are dry and rocky. The Nile continues between them. A green ribbon passing through a world of stone. Breakfast is prepared. Bread, dates, figs, honey, water. You eat quietly while the sail is raised. The wind fills it. The boat begins moving south. At first, the riverbank still looks familiar. Small farms, irrigation channels. Mud brick homes, fishing boats. But gradually, the fields become smaller. The desert hills grow closer. The river seems narrower, and then you hear it. A distant sound. Knock. It is faint at first, almost lost beneath the sound of the water. But as the boat moves closer, the sound becomes clearer. Knock. Stone being shaped. Hori points toward the eastern bank there. You see a settlement beneath the rocky hills. Wooden shelters. Stone walls. Piles of rock. Tools. Carts. And beyond them, the quarry. Great faces of stone have been cut into the hillside. Long, pale scars run across the rock. The stone workers live here. They cut blocks from the earth, shape them, smooth them, and prepare them for transport. The boat approaches a small landing. Several workers are carrying tools from the shore. One of them notices you. He waves. You step ashore. The ground is covered with fine dust. It crunches softly beneath your feet. The air smells different here. Dry stone dust. Wood smoke, sun-warmed earth. A man approaches. His name is Penezi. He is a stone worker. His hands are rough. His shoulders are strong. His face is darkened by years beneath the sun. He welcomes you. You have come from the river. You nod. Then you have seen how the stone travels. He points toward the Nile. You follow his gaze. Several large blocks are resting near the water. They are waiting for boats. The river will carry them north. You ask where they are going, wherever the builders need them. Temples. Walls. Columns. Tombs. Monuments. The stone may travel 4 days or weeks. Sometimes farther. The Nile is once again a road. Only this time, the travelers are blocks of stone. Penezi invites you to see the quarry. You follow him along a dusty path. The workers move slowly beneath the morning sun. Some carry baskets, others use wooden tools. Several men are working directly against the stone face. They strike carefully, not wildly. Not quickly. Each blow has a purpose. Knock. Pause. Knock. Pause. The sound echoes against the hills. You watch one worker closely. He places his tool against a line marked on the stone, then strikes it with a wooden mallet. A small piece breaks away. He checks the surface. Then strikes again. Slowly, a straight line begins to appear. The stone is enormous. The tool is small, yet little by little, the stone changes. Penezi smiles. Stone teaches patience. He touches the rock. You cannot argue with it. You smile. It is the same lesson you heard from the basket maker. The same lesson from the boat builder. The same lesson from the farmer. Work slowly. Work carefully. Let time help you. You walk farther into the quarry. The walls rise around you. The stone glows pale beneath the sun. Some surfaces are rough. Others are surprisingly smooth. You see a large block almost separated from the hillside. Workers have carved around 3 sides. Only a narrow section remains. Penezi explains that when the final section is removed, the block will be lowered carefully, then it will be moved toward the river. You wonder how such a heavy block can be transported. Penezi laughs. Many hands, he points toward a wooden sled. The workers place stones upon it. Ropes are attached. Men pull together. The movement is slow, 1 step. Then another. The sled moves. Dust rises beneath it. A supervisor calls out a rhythm. Pull. Rest. Pull. Rest. The workers move together. No one person could move the stone alone. Together, they can. The thought feels familiar. The boat builders needed many hands. The farmers depended upon one another. The scribes recorded the work of others. The whole river valley is connected by cooperation. You follow the stone toward the river. The workers stop often. They rest beneath small shelters. Water is brought to them in clay jars. Bread and onions are shared. A few dates are passed around. Even the hardest work has moments of rest. At the riverbank, the stone is loaded onto a large barge. The barge sits low in the water. Its wooden sides are reinforced. A few dates are passed around. Even the hardest work has moments of rest. At the riverbank, the stone is loaded onto a large barge. The barge sits low in the water. Its wooden sides are reinforced. The workers guide the block carefully into position. Ropes tighten. Wood creaks. The barge shifts slightly. Then settles. The stone is aboard. One worker pats the side of the block. Tomorrow it travels. You look north along the river. Somewhere beyond the horizon are the temples and cities where this stone will become something beautiful. A column, a doorway, a wall. Perhaps a statue. Perhaps something that will stand for thousands of years. The worker who cut the stone may never see its final destination. That is another quiet part of ancient life. People often begin things they will never finish. A farmer plants a tree whose fruit will be eaten by grandchildren. A builder places a stone that will outlast his family. A scribe copies a story that may be read by people long after he is gone. A boat builder creates a vessel that will carry strangers. Work travels beyond the person who creates it. You sit beneath a shaded shelter beside the quarry. Penezi joins you. Lunch is simple. Bread, onions, fish, dates, water. He tells you about his family. His father was also a stone worker. His grandfather worked in the same region. But Penezi does not speak only about stone. He talks about ordinary things. His children. His home. His garden. The date palm beside his doorway. The donkey that refuses to listen, the neighbor who always borrows tools. He laughs. For all the grandeur of the monuments, the people who build them live ordinary lives. They worry about meals. Weather. Families. Tools. Animals. The next day's work. History often remembers the monuments, but the people remember the small things. After lunch, the heat becomes stronger. The workers retreat into the shade. The quarry becomes quieter. You can hear the wind moving through the rocks. A few birds circle overhead. The river glitters in the distance. You sit beneath the shelter and close your eyes. The sun warms the earth. A breeze touches your face. The sounds of the quarry fade to knock. Knock. Even the distant sound of stone becomes peaceful. After some time, you open your eyes. The afternoon is beginning to soften. The shadows have grown longer. Workers return to their tasks. The stone glows golden. You walk once more through the quarry. A group of younger workers is learning from an older craftsman. He demonstrates how to strike a particular seam. The students watch, then try. One strike is too hard, another is too soft. The teacher corrects them, again, and again. Eventually, one young worker makes a clean cut. The older man nods, no applause. No celebration, just a quiet nod, the young man smiles. Skill passes from one generation to another, like writing, like farming, like boat building, like weaving. The sun begins to set. You return toward the river. The quarry behind you is painted gold. The workers are finishing for the day. Tools are collected, dust is washed from hands. The great blocks rest beside the water. Tomorrow they will continue their journey. The Nile will carry them. The riverboat waits. Cloud is standing beside it. He watches the workers, then looks toward you. Clink. The little bell moves in the evening breeze. You climb aboard. The boat pushes away from the shore. The quarry begins to recede. The stone hills become darker. The workers become tiny figures. The sounds of their tools disappear. Soon there is only the river, the desert, the sky, and the boat. Dinner is prepared as darkness falls. Bread, vegetables, fish, dates. You eat beneath the stars. The river reflects the first stars of the night. The desert hills are black silhouettes. A cool breeze moves across the water. You think about the stone workers, their patient movements, their strong hands, their simple meals, their quiet lives. Perhaps someday, far in the future, travelers will stand before enormous stone monuments and wonder how they were made. They may think first about kings, about temples, about great achievements, but behind every stone is a worker. Someone who lifted, someone who carried, someone who carved, someone who waited, someone who struck the stone again and again, knock, pause, knock, pause, until the shape appeared. You lie down beneath the woven shelter, the boat rocks gently, the sound of water returns. Her eyes grow heavy. Tomorrow, the river will carry you farther south. The desert will become closer. The valley will become narrower. And ahead, beyond the evening horizon, the journey will begin to approach some of the most remarkable landscapes of ancient Egypt. But tonight, there is no need to think about them. Tonight, the stone workers rest. The quarry is silent. The boats are still. The river flows beneath the moon. And the ancient valley sleeps. Breathe slowly. Let your body become heavy. Listen to the river. Let the gentle movement of the boat carry you. The stone has waited for thousands of years. You have nowhere to hurry. Rest now. The journey continues tomorrow. Morning comes slowly to the river valley. The first light appears beyond the desert hills. The stone workers' settlement is still asleep. The great blocks of stone rest beside the water. The quarry walls glow softly in the dawn, and the Nile continues flowing. Shash. You wake beneath the woven shelter. The boat rocks gently. A cool breeze moves across the deck. For a few moments, you simply listen. There is no hurry. The work of yesterday is finished. Today is another part of the journey. Hori is already awake. He stands at the bow, watching the river. The crew prepares the sail. Cloud rests beside the shore. His blue cloth is folded neatly. The small bell around his neck catches the morning light clink. Breakfast is waiting. Warm bread. Dates. Figs. Honey. Cool water. You eat slowly while looking toward the hills. The desert seems closer than before. The green valley has become narrow. Rocky slopes rise on either side of the river. Between the stone and the water are small strips of farmland. Palm trees grow wherever there is enough soil. The landscape feels older here. Quieter. More dramatic. The boat begins moving. The sail rises. The wind fills it. Slowly, the quarry disappears behind you. The stone workers become small figures. Then the buildings vanish. Only the hills remain. You travel south. For several hours, the river passes between low cliffs. The water is calm. Occasionally, a fishing boat appears. Sometimes a small settlement rests beside the river, but there are fewer people now. The landscape feels spacious. The desert stretches away from the water. Golden sand meets dark rock. And through it all, the Nile remains green and alive. Around midday, Hori points toward the eastern bank. You see something rising beyond the palms, a city. Its buildings are larger than the villages you have visited. Stone walls, mud brick homes, temple roofs. Gardens. A busy harbor. The city rests beneath the southern hills. Yet from the river, it seems strangely peaceful. There are no enormous crowds. No shouting, only the quiet movement of boats. Hori smiles. We will stay here tonight. The boat approaches the harbor. Several vessels are already tied along the shore. A cargo boat carries grain. Another carries pottery. A small passenger boat waits for travelers. Workers move calmly along the docks. You step ashore. The city smells of warm earth, bread, river water, and wood smoke. A narrow street leads inland. You follow it. The houses are close together. Most are built from mud brick. Some have small painted doorways. Others have shaded courtyards. Palm trees rise above the walls. You pass a bakery. Fresh bread is being removed from a clay oven. A woman carries the loaves into a nearby house. A child runs past with a basket. Two donkeys stand patiently beside a wall. Nothing seems unusual. It is simply a city beginning another afternoon. You continue toward the center. There you find a quiet square. A large sycamore tree grows in the middle, its branches spread wide. People sit beneath its shade. An old man reads from a papyrus scroll. Two merchants speak quietly. A mother watches her children. A potter carries several bowls. A group of workers rests after the morning's labor. You find an empty place beneath the tree. The shade is cool. The air is warm. You sit for a while. You simply watch. A city is made from small movements. Someone opens a door. Someone carries water. Someone sells bread. Someone repairs a sandal. Someone writes a letter. Someone waits for a boat. Someone returns home. History is often described through kings and battles. But most days are made from these quieter moments. You walk toward the market. It is smaller than the river town you visited earlier. Yet there are many familiar things. Dates. Figs. Fish. Bread. Vegetables. Pottery. Woven baskets. Linen. Oil. You stop beside a small stall selling carved wooden objects. The seller is an elderly woman. She has arranged small birds, boats, animals, and household figures upon a woven mat. You pick up a tiny wooden boat. It is simple, a narrow hull. A small mast, a little sail. The woman smiles. It is a river boat. You tell her that you have been traveling by boat. She nods. Then you should understand it. You place the small boat back on the mat. She does not ask you to buy it. Instead, she points toward the river. Everything here follows the river. You smile. You have heard those words in different forms many times. And each time, they feel more true. You leave the market. A narrow path leads toward a garden. Inside are date palms, fig trees, small pools of water. Lotus flowers. The garden belongs to a wealthy household, but part of it is open to visitors. A gardener is watering the plants. His name is Casa. He explains that gardens are precious in the southern heat. Trees provide shade. Pools cool the air. Flowers bring color. Fruit provides food. The garden feels completely different from the desert beyond the city. You sit beside a small pool. A lotus flower floats upon the surface. Its pink petals are open beneath the afternoon sun. You have seen lotus flowers before, but here, surrounded by stone walls and palms, they seem especially peaceful. A small bird lands beside the pool. It drinks, then flies away. The gardener continues watering. Slowly, carefully, one plant at a time. You close your eyes. The garden becomes a world of quiet sounds. Water pouring from a clay vessel, leaves moving in the breeze, birds calling. Distant voices from the city. The river beyond the walls. You could almost fall asleep. But eventually you continue. The gardener tells you there is a hill beyond the city from which the entire river valley can be seen. You decide to walk there before sunset. The path leaves the houses behind. The ground becomes rocky. The city slowly spreads below you. From higher up, you can see the Nile clearly. It winds through the valley like a long silver ribbon. Green fields line the banks. Palm trees appear as dark clusters. The city sits beside the river. Beyond the green land is the desert. Golden. Silent. Endless. You stop to rest. The wind is stronger here. It carries the smell of dry earth. Below, boats move along the Nile. Tiny from this height, one traveling north. Another traveling south. You watch them for a long time. From above, the river seems almost still, but you know it is moving. Always moving. You think about your own journey. You began far to the north. You passed villages. Fields. Markets. Temples. Papyrus gardens. Boat builders. Quarries. And now the landscape has changed again. Yet the river remains the same water, the same current, the same ancient road. As the sun begins to fall, you walk back toward the city. The streets are quieter now. The market stalls are closing. Children return home. Workers wash dust from their hands. A baker carries the last bread of the day into his shop. A fisherman pulls his boat onto the shore. Evening has arrived. You return to the harbor. Your boat waits beside the river. Cloud is resting near the dock. He looks peaceful. When you approach, his bell sounds softly clink. You climb aboard. The crew prepares dinner. Bread. Fish. Vegetables. Dates. You sit near the bow. The sun disappears behind the western desert. The hills become dark silhouettes. The city begins to glow with small lamps. One doorway, then another, then another. The lights reflect upon the Nile. Tiny golden lines move across the water. You eat quietly. The harbor becomes still. A few boats rock gently beside the dock. The ropes creak. The river moves. She. You think about the city. There is nothing spectacular about it. No great procession. No royal ceremony. No dramatic event. And yet it feels important because this is where people live. Where they raise children, grow food. Build boats, write letters, sell bread. Repair tools, plant gardens. Wait for boats. Go home at sunset. A civilization is not only its monuments. It is also its quiet cities, its ordinary streets, its shaded courtyards, its gardens. Its people. Night settles over the valley. The desert hills disappear into darkness. The stars appear. Thousands of them. The Nile reflects a few upon its surface. You lie beneath the woven shelter. The boat moves gently. The city is quiet now. Somewhere far away, a dog barks. Then silence. A night bird calls from the riverbank. Then silence again. Your breathing slows. The day has ended. Tomorrow, the journey will continue south. The river will become more remote. The desert will grow wider. And the ancient road will lead toward distant lands where travelers, merchants, and caravans once crossed between Egypt and the regions beyond. But tonight, you remain beside the quiet city. The lamps are fading, the harbor sleeps, the gardens rest. The hills stand beneath the stars. And the Nile continues its endless journey through the darkness. Shush. Let the sound become softer. Let the boat carry you. Let the ancient river carry the last thoughts of the day away. There is nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to remember. Only water, only stars, only the gentle movement of the boat. Rest now. Tomorrow will come when it comes, for tonight. The quiet city sleeps beside the Nile.